Are you stuck? What about unhappy? Join Elena Chapman, author, mentor, and life coach for 30-minute moments as she challenges you to get out of the doldrum and start living your life to the fullest. It's time to celebrate that life with 30-minute moments.
Welcome to 30-Minute Moments, and I'm your host, Elena Chapman. And oh my gosh, do I have a fabulous show for you today. I mean, you really are going to love this. As you know, 30-Minute Moments is for ease and betterment in your life. And I also want to bring some fantastic news on for you. Listen, if you were thinking of coming to the Savvy Sisterhood Summit, and even if you weren't, I'm going to tell you, we have had such a cool response for this that we have changed the date. Yes, I know. Why did you change the date? Well, because we were running out of seats. And we still have people that want to come. So what we are doing is we're actually staying at Columbia University, New York City. This is your time to come see New York City. And you say, why do I want to go to New York City? Oh my gosh, you do not want to miss New York City. It is a world unto itself. It's so much fun. And I can show you around because I'm there all the time. So I really see a lot of it. But it's also a time for you to have this wonderful place that you are going to grow. They tell me not to guarantee it, but I'm guaranteeing it. There's no way that you won't grow. Your awareness will be so new. Your feet will be sturdy on the ground. You're not going to be floating around with ideas like, I don't know what to do. No, you're going to be saying, I really know what I want. I know this is going to happen, because we're just gearing the whole event for that purpose. And then the bonus is that you're going to have the friendships, the firm friendships that are bound because you have a like-mindedness. It's so cool. You will call friends on the week, every week, because you're going to want to have accountability. And you're going to find that they're on the same journey as you. These will be friends for life. Now, when did we move this? We moved it to September. I know it sounds far off, but it really is not. September, the 20th through the 22nd. Okay? And it's still at Columbia University in New York. I would say, hold off and buy the tickets, but this time I wouldn't, because we moved it, folks, because people are buying tickets and we want to fit everyone in. So if you're looking to go, I would say purchase your ticket now. And by the way, since we have more space, we have lowered the ticket prices because we do not need the tickets to finance where we're going. It makes total sense. So take a look right now. And how do you do that? You go to Join Savvy. Remember, Savvy has 2 V's. JoinSavvySisterhood.com. All right. Now, let's get on with this show. This guy is fantastic. You are going to love it. And he is a Midwesterner just like us. All right.
Yes.
That's him right there. Now, Larry Armstead is a very cool guy. And I love this. He is a coach and an inspirational speaker. All right. Now, the one thing I love is he is seeing a need to step over the law of attraction. Now, what is the law of attraction? Guys, the law of attraction is actually a universal law. We have universal laws that guide our universe. Now, but it's a secondary law. And I always say it's made up of the law of vibration, the law of perpetual transmutation, and in English, that's thought, our thoughts, and the law of gestation, which so many people who believe in the law of attraction do not get. Law of gestation is the law of becoming. It's the law of action. It's the law of expectation. And that's what brings us to Larry. Larry understands expectation. He was in a meditation, and all of a sudden these words came to him. In life, we don't get what we want. We get what we expect. Not like the Rolling Stones song that we get what we need. We get what we expect. And this has brought him on to help other seekers find clarity, set and achieve their expectations, no matter how high. This is going to be a really fun conversation because I don't know if you know it right now. expectation is a buzzword, and it's really very debatable. So with that, I'm bringing on Larry Armstead. Hello, Larry.
Hello, from one Midwesterner to another.
I know. Isn't this amazing? Gosh, I love it. I love it. We're going to have coffee. Definitely.
You set it up, I'll be there.
Okay. Oh, that's good. All right. Now, do you realize how debatable this exception is in the self-help world?
Oh, absolutely, because, when you start talking about expectations, people think of it as some magic formula or some magic pill that, I can make whatever happen that I want to. And I try to explain to people that's not exactly the way that it works. You got to do a little bit of the work yourself.
Oh, gosh, the law of gestation. You have to become it. You have to do it.
Absolutely.
You have to move forward. You have to take the steps. You don't always know that where those steps are going to lead you, but you do. That's where this is where it's funny. They always say you start the how. You start to take the steps, but you don't worry about the how because the universe will bring it in different ways. But people then lose sight. They think, okay, if I don't know the how, then I just got to kind of float with it. You do float with it, but there's that deep feeling inside, right, Larry?
Absolutely. And it's so funny that you would say, people are kind of looking for the how, and a lot of times. What happened with me, and this is just as recently as a couple of weeks ago, I'm a big reader, so
me too.
I was doing my I am statements. I am this, I am that, I'm going to be on this, I'm going to be on that. And literally during that meditation and during that I am space, Spirit said to me, stop. Quit trying to figure out the how and the why and just be.
Yes.
And that confused me. I was like, what do you mean? How do I just be? They were like,
You sound like me. That's exactly what I say. I'm saying, what are you talking about?
Yeah. And then, I'm also reading right now the Tao Te Ching.
Oh,
and
me too. Yeah.
It is the greatest thing.
Isn't it?
If you guys are not ready. Oh my gosh, it's so deep and so real.
Well,
and the lesson after that was, being like the flowing water. The flowing water doesn't have to try; it just is.
It just is. And the tree that grows is just is. Everything is just is. But we sit there and we think, how do we do this? And oh my gosh, and this is going to be so hard. And is this even possible? And what step do I need to take now? And why isn't this clear? And we mull it over and we turn it over in our minds and we make it more than it has to be, don't we?
We do. And I'm joking with people and I say, we get on our own nerves. All the time.
We do.
We sit there.
We do.
We like you said, we mull it over, we roll it over. What do I have to do? How's this going to happen? We're trying to figure out the end game, and we don't even have the tools to start the game.
Yes. We don't even have the tools to start the game. And okay, so that leads me to this other question. What are the tools, Larry? What do you see as the tools?
Well, I have like an awesome 3-step process. So
okay, let's hear it.
If you're looking to do, to manifest something or to start something, I always say you need to add ice. And what does that mean? It means that you need to first identify the expectation. That's the I. Then you need to clarify the expectation. Then you need to anticipate it. And that's a term that I've coined. That's just that awesome intersection when expectation meets anticipation, and that beyond a shadow of a doubt that whatever you're seeking is on its way. So you have to add ice.
I love this. See, there's one little secret about Larry that I haven't told yet. He's a foodie. He loves food. And why I wanted to get him on this show so much is because I watched an interview of Larry and I saw how I always want to bring ease and betterment in your life, and the best way to do that is to take these complex ideas, these puzzles of everything in the ethereal, and bring them down into real things that you can understand and apply to your life. So I want to go back a little bit just for a second, and I love your 3-step process. But let's relate this to people, because I don't think they're going to get that they're mulling things over. Will you you've got a book coming out, right? Or do you have it out now? I haven't been able to read it yet.
Yeah, it's already out. It's called Where's My Pizza? How to Use the Power of Expectation to Create the Life You Want. It is out on Amazon and Barnes & Noble.
Okay. I love that. I love that title. Now, talk about when someone's ordering a pizza, because this is how we order our dreams.
Absolutely. So, and this is how I came up with the title of the book. I was coaching a client, and, she was wanting some things to manifest in her life. And I said, it's kind of like you call a pizza place and you say, well, hey, I want a pizza. Okay, well, what do you want on the pizza? I don't know. I just want a pizza. Well, how are you going to pay for it? I don't know. I just want a pizza. Where are we delivering it? I don't know. I just want a pizza. And then, you hang up the phone and you're looking out the window 20 minutes later and you're wondering where the heck is my pizza? And what I kind of taught her, right?
Yes.
And I took that to mean that life doesn't have to be just the ingredients that we typically think of as a pizza. It doesn't have to just be bread, sauce, and cheese. Change the bread, change the sauce, change the cheese, change your toppings. Everything is up for change.
That's right.
And so that's how that whole thought for Where's My Pizza came to be.
So if you're someone who is, okay, well, there's so many different types. Let's use the one who all of a sudden wants to make money. Or they want to, they say, okay, I want money to appear in my life. Well, that's wonderful. All right. But that's ordering your pizza. So what kind of service do you want to put on that pizza? What do you want to do? What kind of dough do you want to do? What do you want to give to people? Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely. I mean, and, when people say, hey, I want to manifest more money, like you said, what kind of dough are we going to use? Or what are you willing to do?
Yes.
What
kind of service?
What is your work? What is your service? Exactly.
Yeah.
So what are you willing to do to make that happen, make that a reality for you?
You are listening to 30-Minute Moments, and I'm your host, Elena Chapman, and we are talking to Larry Armstead, and we are going to be right back with this wonderful expectation.
You're listening to 30-Minute Moments with Elena Chapman, helping you discover your true purpose on WOWO and at WOWO.com.
Welcome back to 30-Minute Moments. I'm your host, Elena Chapman, and we've got Larry Armstead right here. And we are going to delve in. We just talked about, just to refresh you a little bit, we talked about this pizza concept. You know the pizza's out there, and but you got to put the ingredients of whatever you want. You just can't order a pizza. You got to know the ingredients. You got to define your vision. You've got to know what to, and here's the key word, expect. Now, Larry, I'm going to bring in this. Now, I want to preface this. Now, Mary Ann Williamson, who's now running for president, I remember listening to her do the Course of Miracles years ago, and I remember her saying, go into a meeting and just do not expect. Instead, fill your heart with love and go into this networking group or this meeting and then see the rewards you get out of it. Now, my mind went, because I'm one who always expects. But I did try that. And you know what? I was in shock on what I received. It was phenomenal. All of a sudden, because people felt that vibration of love. All right, I get that.
Yeah.
But, and I do have a big but here, I also know that there are things I won't accept in my life. Poverty? No, sorry, that's not going to be there. And so I expect my life to go in it. Let's talk about this, like I said, very debatable concept of accept.
And what it is with expectation, and I totally agree with what Marianne said. Just going, without expectation and with your heart full of love, that in itself is an expectation. I'm expecting myself to show up. I'm expecting myself to show up to a location with my heart full of love. So that in itself is an expectation.
Okay.
And that's why people were able to, glean onto that. And the law of expectation, the way I have framed it, is that it is the idea that what you need and want in life is already here right now.
It is. And don't we have to totally, okay, I use this, my listeners know this. There was a time when I had no money, None. $200 to my name. And I just said to God and the universe, I said, this is not going to stay this way. It's just not. I expected. And so did I have the money to go look at a place that required $5,000 down for the first month and $5,000 down for the last when I have $200 in my pocket? Yes, I went and looked at that place. And why? Because I expected that I would have a roof over my head. I expected that I would get myself out of this hole and into where I want to be. I expected that it was just going to happen. Now, but that was a deep-seated feeling. If you had asked me, I wouldn't have told you that. It was a deep-seated feeling. Can you talk a little bit about that deep knowing that it's just going to happen, and how do you feed that?
It's kind of, I don't know if you're familiar with the Rosenthal effect.
Yes. Go ahead.
Okay, so the Rosenthal effect is just simply, just to give a little background on it, it is when a couple of researchers went to a school and they said, hey, we're going to give an IQ test at the beginning of the year. And what they did, they gave a legitimate IQ test to all the students, but what they didn't tell the staff is that, hey, we're going to identify just randomly some students that said these are going to be, high-achieving students. And what they saw is that these students that they were identified as high-achieving students, and they were identified by that went to their teachers.
Yes.
What happened is these students actually really blossomed and really did achieve, even if they were not necessarily, on paper going to be a high-achieving student.
Yeah.
So, that whole power of expectation is that inner knowing that is just
everything
showing up. Yeah, it's everything, and it's a showing up for yourself. It's the power of expectation is you have this inner knowing, this knowledge that no one can dissuade you from. It's not I wish or I want. It is,
yes.
No one can stand in front of your face and talk you out of what is in your mind.
Yes.
That is how the power of expectation works. Once it is clicked in that spot where it's like, and I call that spot expanticipation, that is when you expect it and you anticipate it at the same time. You know it's on its way. There's nothing else anyone can say or anyone can do.
I love that. And see, that can work two ways, can't it, Larry? I mean, if we know we're going to be this and we know it in our heart, we feel it in every cell of our body, and we visualize and we just create it more, that's one way. But what about if we have old beliefs? We feel we can't become anything. We feel that we aren't good at grades, so we can't be what we want. Isn't that just as powerful?
It's the same thing. It works both ways. The law of expectation doesn't show any favoritism to anything. So if you believe that you can't, then that's what you will expect, and that's what you will receive. If you believe that you can, then that's what you will expect, and that's what you will receive. Yeah.
See that what you are in the power.
You absolutely. You are in the driver's seat always. I have my oldest sister. She has 4 children, and her middle child had middle child syndrome, and she kept telling him as he was growing up, you keep acting like this, you're acting just like your father, you're acting just like your father, and his father was troubled in and out of the system, and his expectation that he internalized was, I'm going to be just like him. So what does he look like now as an adult? He's an exact reflection of his father, because that's what he's been taught to expect.
And that's so true. And it's what we've been taught to expect. And we have to change sometimes what we were taught to expect. You can see with that example, for instance, Larry, that's sometimes what parents leave us with. And sometimes I always say being a parent is getting your kids through the growing up years with as few baggage as possible. And that's definitely baggage. But a lot of us did acquire a lot of baggage. So how do we change the expectation inside of us?
Well, the first thing you have to do is you have to identify what those old beliefs are. And you can't be scared to go against them. You can't be scared to think for yourself. Yes. So you have to you have to really get clear with yourself. You have to sit down with yourself. And, for a lot of people don't want to sit down and journal. But I always say, sit down and journal, and let's see what comes up.
Yes.
What are those old beliefs that are no longer serving you? Because if we can identify them, then we can change them. But if you don't know you're operating under them, then what can we do?
Now, are you talking, I call it a woo-woo name. I call it spirit writing. I know psychologists call it, I forgot what they call it, but it's the same thing. But journaling, is that like when you start writing, are you saying the same thing as I am? That's when I'm, terminology. You start writing and at first it's very conscious and very, okay, yes, I went to the store today. And then all of a sudden, as you make yourself keep writing, stuff starts to come up. Just everything starts to come up. Yeah?
Absolutely, yes.
Yes, I love doing that. Folks, that is, if you got something that's bothering you and you don't know what, I do that all the time, or you feel frustrated and you don't know why, or there's an old belief that you just feel like is nagging you and you don't know what it is really, start to do this. This journaling or spirit writing is fabulous. It's fabulous. Go ahead and tell them more, Larry.
Yes. So I always say make it a practice to journal out your thoughts, write down your thoughts, even if it is, okay, I went to the store today, because as you continue to write and as you continue to kind of look back over the events of that day, things might come up. Why did I react this way at work to this person? They only said such and such, and I really flew off the handle. Why did I do that?
Why?
Well, whatever triggers you points to something in you that needs your attention and needs some healing.
That would be a fantastic spirit writing. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because it's fresh. Yeah. It'll come right out of you.
Exactly. And the more you continue to do that, you'll be able to trace those triggering things back to a point where they were given to you. Yeah. And then you'll begin to realize that everything that I was taught or everything that I absorbed as I was growing and learning doesn't necessarily serve me anymore.
No.
And once I can identify that it doesn't serve me, I can let it go.
See, that's the power. That's the power. Yeah. Choice. You've got a choice now. It doesn't have to rule you. You are listening to 30-Minute Moments, and I'm your host, Elena Chapman. And my gosh, guys, you just got ease and betterment just this minute. But come right back because Larry is going to talk about his pivotal moment.
This is 30-Minute Moments with Elena Chapman, helping you find your inner self every Sunday on WOWO.
We're back to 30-Minute Moments. I'm your host, Elena Chapman, and guess what it is? Yay! It's the shift. So Larry is going to give us his aha moment, his pivotal moment. And are you ready, Larry, for this fantastic story?
So that aha moment for me, you kind of touched on it, but I was doing my typical nightly meditation, and, I'm just sitting there, kind of par for the course, and I hear it's very audible, very clear. In life, we don't get what we want, we get what we expect. At that point, my eyes popped open, and I was like, what was that?
Yeah.
What does that even mean?
Yeah.
So I, like a madman, I got on my phone, I started researching. We get what we expect. And I happened upon the power of expectation. And that was a complete turning point and game changer for me, because what it showed me is the sum total of my life as it is right now is based on a series of expectations that I've had about my life.
Yes.
And what I mean when I say that is, you kind of like you were talking about with parents earlier, your goal is to try to get your child grown up with as little amount of baggage as possible.
Right.
But as children, we also observe, and
yes, we do.
We observe. We're masters at it.
Oh gosh,
so my observation was, okay, I'll have a house. I'll go at 9 to 5. I'll make a little bit of money, and then I'll retire. And that was the goal. That was it.
Wow.
And I looked around after I had that aha moment, and I was like, I'm living my parents' life again. And I realized that is what I expected. I'm living exactly the way I expected to live.
Wow.
And then I made a change. So I expected at that point. I was like, you know what? I've always been a writer. I was a journalism minor in college. Why can't I be an author? I've made so many excuses all these years of who's going to read and who's going to do this and how am I going to? And I was trying to figure out the how and the why.
Wow.
But when I let that go, I expected to become an author, and look at me now. Here I am.
And it flowed, didn't it flow?
Oh my gosh! I jokingly tell a lot of people, like, when I was writing that book, I don't remember writing a lot of it. Like, I go back through it and I read it, and I'm like, I wrote that?
Yeah. Yeah, I do that all the time.
both.
Me too. I was a poetry. I mean, I wrote poetry. I won some little awards in high school. I didn't do stories, but I sat down and started a journal, and look what happened. So see, and sometimes I think, and just let me know if you think I'm correct on this, Larry. Don't you think sometimes it's the people that know the least that don't know what it takes to get there, but they know in their body they're going to be it. They become it faster than us who sits there and say, oh, but I've got a minor, but I'm really not an author. Or I got these poetry awards, but I'm not an author. You know what I mean? Do you find that?
They don't have the baggage of the how or the why.
Yes.
They just know I'm thirsty. I know there's water over there. I'm thirsty. I'm going to get the water.
I'm going to go get the water.
I don't know how I'm going to get to the water, but I'm getting it.
Yeah. I'm just going to get it somehow. That's
Yeah,
really life in a nutshell.
Yeah. And, you and I are sitting here thinking, okay, if I'm going to get to the water, I probably need a boat. But before I get the boat, I'm going to have to go get the materials for the boat. I'm going to have to find the nails and the hammers. I'm probably going to have to hire somebody to build. We've gone through all this, and they're already on their way to the water.
Yeah. Everyone out there, if you have, Kayla, what is the text there? 46862. All right. If you have questions, folks, or you are a total naysayer, you know what? I know you're in your car or in your house going, oh, Elena is so full of it this time. I don't know how this is going to help me. Larry, I don't know where he came from. So I'll tell you what, text me. I mean, that's why I have Ask Elena once a month so that we can answer your questions. And so text 46862 and let's discuss it. I would love that. I would really love that. That's what makes the world go round, crossing ideas and talking about ideas. Larry, how can people find you?
You can find me on my website, and that's larry-armstead.com, and that's ARMSTEAD.
Yeah.
I am everywhere.
This has been a fabulous, and just really quick, guys, so you have learned about expectation, that deep inner knowing, and if it's not there and you want it there, you build it. You've got baggage, let it go. Say, you know what, that's not real. I want this. I want my water. And you've also learned a little bit about the law of gestation. You've learned about things that can help you grow. And that's what 30-minute moments is all about. That's what it's all about. Again, if you have questions or you have any kind of, you disagree, I'd love to hear from you. 46862. Larry, thank you for coming on. It was so much fun.
Oh, thank you for having me. I hope to come back again.
Oh, you will. And for everyone out there, have a fabulous week. Know that I'm always with you. Namaste.
This has been 30-Minute Moments featuring Elena Chapman. If you missed an episode, download it now at WOWO.com.
Podcasts by Federated Media.